Hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. You have made it to Japan. If you are seeing this, welcome to the new incoming English teachers. You've made it. Like, I know there are some persons who were waiting from last year to have come over. So if you are in that batch, if you had applied this year and you're finally here, welcome. So the new school year will start in April. I'm thinking that you should be here by April because it is, well, it's already April, but you should be here in time for the beginning of the school term. And if you are not, then you will be here for the second half of the school term, which will begin in August, July, August, thereabout. So yeah, welcome everybody. Here are some things that you should know when you come to Japan. So first thing that you will do once you get off the airplane and you get onto the bus will take you to the well, for me, I can speak from experience. I went to the hotel, and then at the hotel was where we had the orientation. Things are a little bit iffy at the moment, so I'm not sure whether you are going to have your orientation virtually. But I do know that everybody would come on the same flight from their countries, and then once they get here, you have to have some form of orientation to get you acquainted, to get you familiarized with the system, and some well-needed information will be presented to you once you get here. So prepare for orientation. I'm going to include some clips of what my orientation was like. There were so many different people from so many different countries, and it was my first time using chopsticks when I got here, and it was quite a culture shock for me. Like, we went out on the road in the night, and we just went exploring, and we were, well, in my home country we do not have 24-hour what do you call it now, convenience store. So it was my first time. It wasn't my first time. My first time was in America, but it was surprising to me to see just how clean the environment was. Like, there's only two countries that I had been to at the time, Jamaica and America, and both countries tend to not be on the clean side when it comes onto the streets. So coming to Japan and seeing how clean and how crisp, I was like, if something fell on the floor, can I take it up and eat it type kind of clean. That was what greeted me when I came here. When I was on the bus though, the weather was really dark and gloomy, and I couldn't really see what was happening outside. So my spirits were a little bit low because of that, because I'm a child of the sun. Like, I thrive on sunny days, and on cloudy, gloomy days my spirits are very low. But I digress. Yeah, so we went to the convenience store, my friend and I, we just looked around a bit, and then we went back to our hotels. Now, one thing that really surprised me was the television. Like, we were going through the stations, and we're like, so everything on the station, everything looks the same. Okay, there's game shows that look like they were made in the 1980s. More game shows that look like they were made in the 1980s. Even more game shows that look like they were made in the 1980s. There seems to be a trend here. And that was it. Like, there's nothing to watch on TV unless you have a VPN. It was just we had a hard time figuring out how to use the ironing board and the iron, because the ironing board was like this small, and the iron, everything was in Japanese, so it was a little bit hard for us to figure out what was what. But it was a very interesting experience for us. And then after the 3 days that we were in the hotel, we all separated and went to our separate locations. Myself and another Jamaican came to Niigata, and then everybody else went to their different prefectures, and that was that. Like, the persons we came on the plane with, I've never seen anybody else except for the young lady that I was placed here with. I've never seen anybody else after. So be prepared to never see persons you come on the flight with, unless you guys decide that you're going to meet up at some point in time. when you get to your city, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to be introduced to your apartments. Now your apartments should have already been cleaned and prepared for you. When you get to your apartment, there will be things that will be left behind by previous jets. If you're fortunate enough to get a new apartment, good on you, you will have to purchase a lot of essential things on your own. However, most BOEs provide the essentials like a futon, a rice cooker, washing machine. Some of us have been fortunate enough to get dryers. I was not one of those fortunate people. However, washing machine, dryers, like, you know, the basic stuff. My advice to you is when you're going shopping for your apartments, stores like Nitori, or your best place to go for like utensils and stuff would be the 100 yen store. You get them for real cheap, and because you could just dump them after you're leaving. So go to the 100 yen stores, get your little plastic Tupperware and your, you know, knife and forks and things of essential things that you're going to need. Your best bet is a 100 yen store. If it is that you cannot sleep on a futon, you could go ask around and you could get a bed to buy for like 30,000 yen or 300 US dollars. Very cheap, you know, the base and the mattress, and you're good to go. All right. My next advice to you is to walk around your neighborhood and try to familiarize yourself with where's the bank, where is the train station, how far away is the train station, how far away are your schools. Your supervisor should take you around to your schools and introduce you to your principals and to the teaching staff and to the students. However, it is up to you to make sure that you know the time that it will take for you to get there so that you can be at work on time. All right, so get to know your schools, get to know your the distance of your schools, get to know the distance of your convenience stores, places like the dentist, places like the doctor. Find out if there are any English speaking doctors, dentists, gynecologists close to you or in your area, so that in the case of an emergency or in the case that you have to rush, it will be easier for you to find what you need. All right. My next advice to you is find out where's your bank. Find out how it is that you can pay your bills. Find out from your supervisor if your rent or any bills can be automatically withdrawn from your accounts. Now I'm going to make a video showing you how it is that you can pay your phone bill if you do decide to get a cell phone. How it is that you can get how is it that you can pay like your electricity bill, the water bill, things of that nature. I'm going to make a video as well as to the different phone companies and what should be most convenient to you. Okay, so my next advice is if you do have debts to pay back home, like most persons who have student loan or they're just sending money back home for family or just for savings, there are several ways that you can do that. So, and that is another video that I will make for you guys as well. So please look out for that. That is how it is that you can pay your bills, how it is that you can send remittance home. Okay? Okay. Now, I've been here for 4 years, so I think that I am at liberty to give the advice that I am giving. And I'm going to tell you, please take the advice of Jets who have been here for a longer time with a grain of salt. I've met in my city persons who they extended their hand of friendship or help, and it was like shaking the hand of the devil. All right, so the advice that they gave was absolutely useless to me. And so I had to go out and to learn 90% of the things that I've learned here. I had to learn on my own, all right, or through trial and error. Speaking of that, be very wary of the gatekeepers of Japan. And I call them the gatekeepers because these are persons who have been in Japan for quite a while, or persons who came here on jet, or persons who are here and they've decided that they're not going to leave. These are persons who will make your life hell because they think that they know all and they think that they are the prized possession of the Japanese as a foreigner. So be very wary of those persons. Do not allow them to form an opinion for you, form your own opinion of what Japan is like, and it will make your life so much easier. Take my foolish advice. All right? You will be going to schools soon, so therefore prepare your introductory videos as soon as possible. If you have your flags, I'm going to give you an example of what an introductory video is like so that you can model your introductory video on my own. Prepare your flag, prepare like money, prepare like small things that you want to show your kids, show your teachers, oh, this is the currency that we use in our home country. These are some snacks that we eat in our home country. Now, speaking of snacks, you do not want to give these snacks to the kids. You may give them to the teachers in the staff room, because as a courtesy, you're supposed to bring omiyage, or little gifts from your home country for your teachers. Now, imagine persons like me who have 8 schools and having to bring 8 different omiyages to feed or to give to so many teachers in the staff room. It's not easy. However, you could bring a small little sweets or something, or have your parents ship over something from wherever your country is to you, and then you can give those little sweets or biscuits or whatever it is that you want to share with your teachers. All right? I've said this in my last video and I'll say it again. Japan is hard, especially if you have been placed in the countryside of Japan. It is not the easiest place to live in. It tends to be very boring. There's not much for you to do. Let me see. The infrastructure can be lacking in terms of, if the train comes at 1, do not expect another train until 3 or 5 p.m. If the train comes at 7 a.m., do not expect another train until 10 a.m. or 12 p.m. And if you miss that train, well, then you can kiss the entire day goodbye. Things of that nature. If you do not drive, then things can be a little bit hassling for you. So yeah, take that into consideration. You want to keep in touch with your family and friends from overseas or from back home, because that is one thing that will keep you sane while you are here. Keep in constant communication, and in order for you to do so, you will need internet service. So you need to ensure that you get your internet connected as soon as possible within the week that you land in Japan. Get your internet situation sorted out. All right? Now, be prepared to leave Japan after a year if it is just not for you. If it is that you never saw yourself being a teacher, because teaching is just not for everybody. Constantly being asked to be Genki, constantly being held at a different standard than your other co-workers can be mentally draining. From my experience, I've been pushed to the edge by my superior. And I say superior meaning one person. I've been pushed to the edge many a times. I developed anxiety issues over it, and I'm like, I'm a trained teacher. I'm like, what? But by the grace of God, I am still here. So yeah, be prepared to be provoked. Be prepared to give up after a year of being here. Trust me, you will have to have your wits about you. Fortunately for other persons, they have a very good experience being on jet, and so they stay here for 5 years. Last year was a very unique situation, as we all know, and then for some jets, they had the opportunity to stay here for 6 years, and so they became the unicorns. That's what we call them, 6-year jets, the unicorns. And some are being offered the position to stay for another year, so they are the 7th-year unicorns. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have come to the end of my video. As I've said before, and I'll say again, Japan is a wonderful place to come, a wonderful place to live, a wonderful experience to have. However, if you find that it is just not for you, it is okay to leave jet and to find other employment within the country. Or if it is that you have been placed in the inaka, it is your right to leave the job for your own mental health after you've completed your contract. Remember that your BOE has paid a lot of money to get you here. So please stay and complete your contract if it's even for the year, and then leave. If it is that you realize that it is just not something that you can do, leave. For your own mental health, go home. That's the only advice that that's the best advice I can give to you, because I've experienced personally others around me who have gone off the railings, literally. I've heard so many other stories of jets just not coping properly after being here. So welcome to Japan, English teachers. I hope that this year will be productive and profitably here for you, that you will come here and you will make the best of it. And in the meantime, please remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. So until next time, see you.